If you had to rate the fan service in Danadan, 1 being not even noticeable, 10 being unwatchable, what would you rate it and why? So Danadan's kind of a hard area to pick because yes, it has fan service, but more than fan service, it has like borderline essay, which makes this question kind of tricky because the actual fan service in Danadan is pretty dang minimal. They've got their grandma, which is so weird, but at least she's a grandma, not like a 14-year-old girl. So yeah, they give fan service to the grandma, and it's mostly, so far as I've seen, it's mostly in episode 2. But the episode 1 borderline essay is the most, like, icky part of Danadan for me. Like, even more than the fan service. And granted, I even skipped it, and like the little bits that I did see, like, even still made me like, ugh, why? And I think the worst part about it for me is like when they do like borderline essay, like if they're wanting to be like really deep and dark and they're like, oh, that's just part of it. Why are they like sexualizing the girl that's getting essayed? That is so whack. For me, that's the borderline most unwatchable thing about Danadan is like they try to say like, oh, it's not supposed to be fan service. Then why are you zooming in on her and like giving us angles when she like gets out and kicks? Like it's actually quite disturbing. But other than that, it's not too bad. In episode 9, when they have to like take off their clothes because they're in the water, that was really annoying. Like I get really frustrated when they take an excuse to write something in that doesn't need to be there, that just like hypersexualizes these like teenagers, you know what I mean? If we're excluding the essay and we're talking just the fan service, including the fan service of her being essayed, I would say it's pretty high up there for my tolerance. My tolerance is low, so people are gonna freak out in the comments saying it's not that bad. Not to you, right? We're talking to someone that is on the same page as me. And to me, I would say it's probably like, I would say the bad moments are like 9 out of 10. But then there go like multiple episodes where there's nothing. So maybe we make it like an 8.5 out of 10. In my opinion, like I'm still willing to drop Danadan if it keeps doing scenes like that because of how much I just really don't like. It's just like upsetting to me. Like people think it's like an immaturity thing of me being like, I don't want to see boobs. No, it's like really deeply offensive as a woman to me to be like, how do they think they can get away with this? And people are just gonna be like, I like this. I don't know. Like I understand being like, I can get over it. But sometimes for me, I'm like, can I actually support the show that thinks that this is okay? And for me, Danadan is right on the line, if I'm being completely honest. Mostly because they do sexualize her as she's getting essayed. That's so not okay, in my opinion. But like the quote-unquote funny fan service, I'm not super bugged by. Like the grandma being fan service, I'm like, that's whack, whatever. Or like him being but even his, it feels like, yes, it could be considered fan service if you're like into guys that way. But to me, it feels like they're trying to do his in a funny way, which I still don't like. Let's be very clear. But it's not as disturbing to me as like zooming in on her body as they're trying to like, don't even get me started. Both are bad. Let's be very clear. Anyways, if you're sensitive to fan service, don't watch Danadan. If you aren't, then it's probably not a big deal to you. But for me, it's right on the cusp, and we shall see if I can continue to watch it, is my honest take. If you're a manga reader, will you actually give me a heads up? I would really appreciate that. Thank you.